Did you know that on average 130 people die from suicide every day? This equates to one successful attempt every 11 minutes. Though suicide affects individuals of all ages, it has remained the second leading cause of death within the younger population aged 10 to 24. Because school-age students are primarily affected, it is absolutely imperative that teachers, as well as fellow students, are able to point out the early signs of depression and suicidal ideation. Once students and teachers are able to point out the major signs, it is very important to know what to do when someone is going through a depressive episode. Since it is not mandated for school officials to be knowledgeable on how to handle these situations appropriately, students are left to fend for themselves, increasing the suicide rates. Limited access to resources for students going through a mental health crisis could lead to devastating consequences. To address the needs of these individuals, we must first understand the causes of suicide. The most common cause of suicide, especially common in older teens and young adults, is mental health. According to the Center for Disease and Control, in the year 2018, 1.9 million children have been diagnosed with depression. These numbers could drop drastically if schools overhauled the way that they teach and deal with mental health. Many mental illnesses correlate with suicide, such as depression, substance abuse disorders, anxiety, and post-traumatic stress disorder. Thus, not taking care of your mental health could lead to depression. This is one of the most common illnesses, and it is also very stigmatized, leaving those who suffer from it to not seek help. This can also contribute to the feeling of being overwhelmed. If school emphasized the importance of getting help when you need it the most, it would not affect nearly as many people. Another cause of suicide could be substance abuse. Like depression, many people who have substance abuse disorders either do not try to seek help, either feeling like they don't need it or simply because they don't want it. Drugs can affect the brain in a multitude of ways. It is easy to get addicted, and once addicted, it could feel like you need it to be happy. It alters the presence of a usage of hormones in the brain like dopamine and serotonin, as well as others. Now that we know some of the causes of suicide, let's go over the lasting effects. One of the lasting effects of suicide is death. The person dies, their problems go unsolved. The death brings grief to everyone who cared about that person. This can result from a combination of many things, but most prominently mental illness. The problems faced by the person will now likely go on to others in their lives. The death and nature of it can cause other people to become suicidal, resulting in a cycle. One suicide can impact so many people negatively and can result in lifelong sadness to the people close to the person who died. A bill that requires schools to teach their students about mental health can help alleviate this problem. Senate Bill S-7138 enacts the Suicide Prevention Act. This bill would educate people about the mental health bill. Starting from grade school, going all the way up to college, it will institute classes that will educate people more on mental health. These classes should teach people about the mental disorders and conditions, as well as ways that they can be prevented and treated. It should also teach people about cognitive mental conditions like ADHD, autism, schizophrenia, and bipolar disorder, and also how to manage these diseases. Suicide is a major problem and can have effects on as many as millions of people per year. One major step in curbing this problem is to rewire our education system, taking more of a focus on the mental health of ourselves and the people around us. Mental health is one of the most stigmatized health issues we as humans face worldwide. Mental health affects everyone differently, and recognizing when to help yourself or offer support to someone else is an important step in changing these statistics for the better. Emphasize acceptance and destigmatize getting help.